Hello, everyone.
Duane, how does it feel to be back? It's been a while. How does it feel to get back home and then walk out with the W?
It's a great feeling. Obviously, it's a young team we going against. They play very hard. They got a lot of talent. We started out a little rough. And it was a tough matchup. We just put our foot on the gas a little bit in the second half. It's a real feeling for me being back. It's my first time back in the building since 2017. So good to see some familiar faces, but good to get the win.
Duane, you've been around Rashaad Penny for a number of years now. He's been through a lot with the injuries. What does it mean to all you guys to see him have a game like this?
It means a lot. It means a lot. Rashaad has a lot of ability, and he got, showed some flashes of that early on. Had some injuries that set him back, and just trying to work his way through that. It's very challenging. To be a young player and go through that kind of injury. I think he's got his confidence back. I think you saw that last week. This week we really fed him the ball a lot, and he ran with vengeance. You saw his demeanor. And it was great to see. We really rallied behind him and were able to put a lot of yards on the ground.
Was your history with the team while you were here? Was it emotional being back?
Not too much. I'm kind of far removed from it. It's been 4 years. I've really been established in Seattle. But it was wild. Coming back and just being in the facility. Like I said, saw a lot of familiar faces, and it was a little surreal at first. But then I just you lock in and it's another game.
What about the fact that you all had a large conglomerate of fans here? Did it feel like almost like a home game?
Feel good. The 12s, they travel well, man, and we knew they would show up. We saw them at the hotel. We saw them. We knew they would show up big. Much love to our fans. Great fans. And yeah, it did feel like a home game. So we're appreciative of them.
See that 0 in the sack column?
What's that?
0 in the sack column. Is that nice to see?
What 0 is that? Oh, yeah, it was great to see. And they got some good pass rushes. Jacob Martin, Grenner, the young guys, they're really good pass rushes. Malik Collins, they got a lot of talent on the defensive line. Russ did a really good job, getting the ball out quick, and being elusive at times. Shout out to the O-line. The O-line did a good job up front. Like I said, they had a hungry D-line, so they challenged us, but we were able to establish a run and set up a lot of passes off of that and sit them down in pass protection when we needed to. And Russ made things happen. Lockett, heck of a day. Everyone played well.
And how much of these young small pass rushes that the Texans put up against y'all remind you a little bit of Mathis and Sweeney when you were here?
Those some Hall of Fame talent, with Mathis and Sweeney. But again, a lot of talent, man. Jacob Martin, I was with him in Seattle. Came here, had a lot of potential in Seattle, and he's really worked his game a lot. And I told him after the game, how proud of him I am. He's really established himself to be, a really, really good player. So, they're different rushes. Grenner's more of a bigger guy, more of a power guy. So they complement each other well.
What was your view of those two Penny touchdown runs?
I can't remember the first one. I remember the second one. The second one, you kind of in a 4-minute situation, and you want to run the ball, you want to run the clock out. To break open a big run like that, it just does so much for us up front. I know it did a lot for him and just his confidence, being able to break open a big run like that. Again, I just can't say enough about him. Like I said, all the adversity he's had to go through the last couple of years to come and perform the way he did today, it means a lot.
Did you talk to Jake Kirkham before today's game at all?
A little bit. Jake he's seen some action this year, so this wasn't he wasn't too nervous. I think he was more nervous last week having to play left guard than right tackle. He's comfortable out there. You always have nerves though, you know what I mean? But I just told him, trust his ability, trust his preparation, and I got to watch the film, but I feel like he did a pretty good job.
I know after last week's win, Pete addressed the team and said, hey, we're not dead yet. You guys have 2 wins in a row. Getting a little momentum. How's the team feeling about how you're playing and what you can do in these next 4 games?
Well, feeling pretty good. We got a resilient group. You know what I mean? We got a lot of great veteran leadership, a lot of young guys that are, ready to play and always ready for whatever challenge comes. We got a big test coming up next week. You know what I mean? And so we're just taking this thing 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time. Just trying to, prepare every day, be the best we can be every day, And like I said, next week is a big challenge for us, so looking forward to it. We're going to enjoy this win tonight on the way back to Seattle and then get to work tomorrow.
Talk about how much Russell controlled the game today.
They did a great job, man. I mean, you know, we kind of went up tempo quite a bit, keeping them on their heels, and he did a great job getting us to the right checks, plays that he liked. I mean, you know, he's a heck of a player. He's been through a lot of adversity this year, injuries, and coming back, and you know, I think now it's he showed everybody again just who he is. You know, so I'm just happy to block for him.
Anything else? Thanks, Wayne.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.